All right, shalom, everyone. Brother D, it's devoted to Yah Fellowship. And so basically, I just wanted to do a group video with some of the people that are here today. Not everyone's here today, but we had like 11 or 12 people today, guest people and stuff that came on. But basically today, I want to just share, let people from the group share what they believe about fellowship, you know, how it's beneficial to them and what they've learned about it or what they know about it already, and just kind of share from their heart regarding fellowship. So I see Jeff and Sakai with their hand up, so I'm gonna let them go first real quick. Go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, man, like the most important thing to us, it was like the first thing once we spent a little time getting the wake up call and sort of in that moment of being in awe or overwhelmed almost by everything, the next most immediate feeling was that we really desperately want fellowship. And it was like a drive, an internal instinct that was driving us to have to find somebody somewhere. And you know, you break your heart enough looking in all the wrong places, but now that we finally found it, and we believe we found a very good place to be, it's like good soil for growing a big tree, you know, and you have to be in this good soil if you want to grow. And the biggest advantages are, it took us a long time to study certain things, but we also have certain interests, so we've studied some things more than others. And I feel that by having people around who also study their points of interest, we can go to them as sort of an encyclopedia, you know, of and learn more and become more well-rounded in our knowledge. And I really like that aspect of it, because every week invariably something will come up, and then because a new guest will bring in a piece of information, and then we'll all kind of been like, oh yeah, me too, yeah, I've been kind of had that put on my heart as well. And it always goes somewhere, and it always ends up being one more thing that makes me more well-rounded, you know, as a believer, you know. And the most important part is that I'm figuring out that as a body, I might just be an eyeball, and I might want to grab something across the room. I need a hand for that, you know. The body without all those parts doesn't work too well, you know. And us having our different specialties makes us all those different parts. Can't all be eyes, we can't all be hands, you know, can't all be feet. And so I believe that we each serve those individual functions, and it makes us a better, you know, like a Megazord, man, or like when all the Power Rangers come together, you know what I mean? Like they make one big thing that's way stronger and can defeat bigger enemies. And I think that that's important. And having found that, I just feel satisfied to be here, because I feel like a fish in water. Like I was out of water, and now I'm like, in water, you know, just right where I need to be. So thank you for giving us the opportunity and opening up a group and taking your time, and, you know, taking your vulnerability and putting it out there, and allowing us to all come around you and meet each other and be part of this thing that we call fellowship. So thank you, guys.
Thank you for that, Jeff. Appreciate it. How about your lovely lady, Zakaya? She got anything?
No, you pretty much covered it. It was, you know, beautifully put, I thought. Really, I took the words right out of my mouth.
As she looks up and gazes upon your eye, Jeff.
Yep, that was pretty much it too.
With the sparkles in her eyes.
It's as if you're looking. It's as if you're looking at her.
Smile on my face.
Yeah, it's got an ear-to-ear smile too.
That's cool. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys have been a real great part of this fellowship. You know, very, very integral to helping out some people early on, right? You guys came on and helped us out with something really important, helping some people from another fellowship that were in some danger, and guys helped us out with that. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys also for being transparent and open, because that makes fellowship that much more personal and trusting. You know, building rapport. So thank you. I'm gonna go with Sean, Julie, and Brian.
I don't want to mention her name because it is going on video, but I had talked to you about one of my friends we had been in ministry and in fellowship for years and years and years. And it was really exciting for me. I talked about all of you guys to her, and I saw something in her face that I hadn't seen before, because she knows that Sean, Brian, and I believe this way. She's known that for 7 years, 8 years, that we believe this way. But because she gets so much from her church and her fellowship, that she's still clinging on to, that good feeling, and, you know, the music concerts they have and all of that stuff, there's still so much pluses for her that even though when we talk, she refers to him by his name, she still got a lot of benefits from being in the church. And when I talked to her about this fellowship, because now it's not just Sean, Julie, and Brian every Saturday doing their own little weird thing in the corner, that there's actual people that we're interacting with, real people that are not crazy and that are excited to be part of it. And I told her, I said, it's really diverse, because I think this group really is diverse, from you know, racial backgrounds to where we came from in the church to, you know, what we even believe. Like, she thought it was fascinating that not everybody necessarily is on the same page for every single thing, but oh my goodness, they're making it work. You know, that we've got the names are really important, but there's still room for people to learn and grow. And her face was just kind of like lighting up. So, you know, when you're off on your own in the wilderness, as opposed to being a part of a group, that's a little bit more appealing to the people that you are trying to witness to in your daily life. They're like, okay, you haven't gone off the deep end alone, that there's other people that are out there doing it. And Sean wanted to say something else too, of why it was so important for us to try to tentatively reach out and try to do this fellowship thing again.
So I've already shared a lot about our testimony, about how we got his name and all that, but right after we got his name, we got really unbelievably angry. And I think one of the reasons why we got so angry was because we were out there at different churches, you know, telling them the names of the Father and the Son, and no one was listening. Nobody wanted to hear it. And we got thrown out of churches, we got thrown out of like public places, and we really did. And it was really hard because we didn't have anyone else to fellowship with. So I mean, it was us in our house, and after a while we literally locked the door, and we didn't want anyone to come in. We didn't want to go out. At the time I wasn't working, so we literally like sat in our house and just read the Bible from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed, to the point where we were like, you know, like I
was the weeping prophet.
Yeah,
I had become the weeping prophet.
Yeah, right, literally.
It was so hard too, because it changed. My husband is the most go-lucky person you will ever meet in your life. He is like a big, giant, gentle bear. He wasn't anymore. He became so angry and so defensive, and it changed the nature of our relationship. We love life. But after like 2 years of doing it alone, we were in a bad place. No one wanted to be near us. And then, you know, we finally recognized that in ourselves. But instead of looking for fellowship, because we had been burned so badly looking for fellowship with people that believed in the name, that we kind of were like throwing our hands up, and we backslid. Nothing like horribly scary. I mean, backsliding is horribly scary, but we just were like, you know, enough of this. We're never going to find fellowship with any like-minded people. And we probably put our foot a little bit too much back into the world. Not like outright, like, you know, grievous sins and stuff, but we were too much back in the world because we're so desperate to see other people. So this is better. This is so much better. This is better. This is better.
I appreciate you finishing that for me.
No problem. Anytime, honey. That's what we married for.
All right. I think we're done now.
We did.
That's awesome, guys. I'm so glad, man. It's so good to hear that. I could totally relate with what you guys are saying. I'm curious if Brian has anything he wants to say. I usually don't hear much from Brian. Does Brian have anything for us?
With your Shabbat bag.
Go ahead. In between your popcorn. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think all three of us is definitely going to embarrass this because for a while when they were angry, I couldn't play video games. I could read like 3 books and barely play or do anything. So I think we've definitely grown through this all together as a family. So yeah.
I had made him a little Shabbat bag.
Yeah.
Yes, because this was like when he was much younger. I made him a Shabbat bag.
It was like a proof thing.
He was not allowed to touch anything in his room except his Shabbat bag with approved coloring books and crayons. Things that, and he would have to sit there for the entire Shabbat with his little Bible and his little Shabbat bag. Because I was just a little bit crazy when we first got the name.
Little wooden animals. That's all he could play with.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Because the animals were allowed on the ark. It's the only reason why.
That's why. Please don't be
You've gotten a whole lot
like
better.
That is awesome, guys. I actually never knew that about you guys, so it's the first time I'm hearing about that. That's awesome. That's great, man. So yeah, I mean, you see, we can still love life, right? Without compromising. That's a debate people will have, even in this group. Some will probably still feel you shouldn't touch certain things and read certain things and watch certain things, and that's okay. But it's beautiful to hear that testimony. I know what it feels like myself. I've shared it on YouTube already, so I don't need to share much more. But I've been in that dark place. I've been grouchy and the Grinch and all that. And fellowship did challenge me and help me sharpen up on my edges as well. But fellowship has also caused a lot of pain because I've invested a lot into people. And then they come around, they stab you in the back, and they gossip about you, slander about you. So it's a double-edged sword to fellowship. It's like you invest, you give, of yourself. You open up, right? You share people about yourself, and then if the enemy gets in and causes a split, it hurts. A bad split. A split that's done in a very unhonoring, with lack of integrity and those kind of ugly splits, it hurts. But I still wouldn't change much of any of that. And that's why I continue moving forward, continue to thrive and strive for fellowship. I still look to be transparent. Sometimes I'm too transparent. My wife says I'm opening up too much. I'm just meeting people and I'm already opening up too much about myself. Yeah, thank you guys for sharing that. That's really important. And somebody out there I know can relate with this, and if you guys are out there and you're watching this, and you've been on your own for a long time, and you're feeling the tug that it's time to get together with people, go ahead and do it. Reach out to people. You got people on your Facebook page, or you got people emailed, you got contacts, YouTube comments, whatever. So you might see somebody, and it's time to connect. Whether you want to connect with us, email me at devotedtoyah@gmail.com and check us out. But get plugged in with somebody. It'll definitely challenge you, and it'll change your life. So thank you. So, yeah, go ahead, brother.
Also, make sure that your children are allowed to play.
And that you're allowed to laugh. I had one lady come on my YouTube channel on the testimony me and my wife were giving, and putting comments on there like, "Why are you guys laughing? This is blasphemy."
Me.
Yeah, to my wife.
Smiling a lot.
She's like, "Why are you guys smiling so much?"
No, she's saying me. She's like, that is not. She's telling me I don't have
the ruach. My wife doesn't have the ruach because she's smiling and laughing.
Because we're talking about the gospel, which is serious, and the gospel is serious.
Yeah.
But there's also joy in it when you're on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, what in the world? People just.
I don't want to fellowship with that one. You can stay by yourself in your little bubble, ma'am. Stay in your little bubble. Enjoy your life. You can stay right where you're at. But yeah, man, it's so true. It's so true. All right, me and my wife love life too, and we plan on enjoying life a little bit more in the upcoming days. Anybody else want to share anything regarding fellowship? Brother Rick, my man.
And be quiet. All this good testimony and witnessing going on, and all the smiles I see, and I see the joy and the happiness that Yahuwah brings. And, you know, when you're by yourself, it can get very lonely, thinking you're the only one. You know, there's scriptures that talk about that. We're the only one. Yahuwah said, no, I got 7,000 more. You know, you're not the only one. You know, there's a whole bunch of us coming out right now, out of the world, and coming out, and we're trying to find the truth, and we're looking for other people to know the truth and use the same names, call upon them, understand the honor that is due to that name and those names, and put them back where they belong. You know, if somebody did something that great and that grandeur, I want him to get the respect and honor that's due to him. You know, not some other false names. So to me, having a fellowship like this, you know, I have my own ministry stuff. If you want to call it ministry, I don't like that word either. But, you know, a fellowship where we study and stuff with Yahuwah Kingdom. But, you know, I have a whole Shabbat that I'm supposed to be honoring Yahuwah with. And it gets hard to do when you're just all by yourself. And, you know, it helps to have others that you can hear their opinions, their views, to expand your mind, you know, allow the Ruach to speak and use these different vessels so that he can speak some truth and life into you. Then you understand, whoa, I didn't hear it. I didn't think of it that way before. And now your whole mind starts being transformed into the image, just like the Messiah said. So to me, being able to join together with all of you that are a part of this and you that are to come, to me, this is priceless. This is the next best thing to being next to you, Brother D, and me giving you a big old hug, you know, and give you a kiss. Because I love you guys. I love the smile. You know what? You better keep smiling, Nilo, because I love you guys to smile. You love to see the happiness and the joy that comes from this walk. You ain't got to be full of sorrow and mad and angry. You find that out when you come out of the deception and the lies. You get mad at that because you've been lied and deceived. But when you come into the truth, you better be excited and happy, because Yahuwah does wonderful things for his people. We've had a lot of those testimonies today, and I know about to hear another one from you guys, but, you know, I don't know if this video is that one or not, but all I can say is I'm happy to be part of this fellowship. I learn and I grow so much. You know, when I think I know a lot, I still learn that I don't know that much. But I keep going and pursuing, and it's because of this gathering time with you guys that I love so much now. You know, you're really my family. Because even Yahusha said, you know, who is my mother, my sister, my brother? Who are they? They're the ones that are, you know, in love and are on the same path. We're walking on this journey. We need each other. When you guys are feeling down, you got me to help you pick you up, or the next guy. When I get down, you're there too. So I'm so thankful. We need this as a body. You know, it's about uniting the believers together, unifying us, and helping us come together on his Shabbat, his Sabbath, his set-apart time to honor him. And we are the bride, right? So when we come together, we are under the same Ruach. We are one. So being one with you guys, I'm proud to say that. I'm honored whenever I get to see and hear testimonies like I hear today. And, you know, it's just an honor to be part of this. And those that are out there that are feeling lonely and by yourself, you don't have to no more. Contact Brother D. So that's really all I want to say, because I can keep going on, but I don't want to, bore anybody. So I love you, bro. Love the ministry. I'm glad we're united. That you're with me, I'm with you. We're gonna walk down this path together. So appreciate you.
Hallelujah. I'm glad to have Brother Rick. Brother Rick has YahuwahKingdom.com. He has his own website. He's been doing teachings for a while, and he contacted me and wanted to collaborate. And me and Rick have had our share moments of disagreeing on doctrines. And he's still here, and the brother is very, very, very humble, and very, very edifying, to this fellowship. So I'm honored, to have somebody I say this all the time, and he doesn't like it, but somebody that's seasoned, And what I mean is somebody that's not so new in the walk, like the first year.
That's extra
You know,
salt.
so he's got a little extra salt on it. You know, a little extra salt. So it's good to have that. You need that. You know, because to tell you the truth, guys, I did a video recently about mentorship. Right, I'm getting emails and you know, personal messages on Facebook of people that want mentors, but I'm not getting people that want a mentor. You know what I mean? So it's hard to, you know, starting a fellowship, you're going to get a lot of people that are new to the walk because they're hungry for it, but it's usually hard to get the ones that are comfortable where they're at. They've been doing things for a certain way for so long and by themselves, and they like it that way. You know, it's comfortable. So it's good when you have a seasoned brother want to join and want to fellowship with you. So that's a big plus.
That's
A
part
big
of this
plus.
elder study we're about to get into today. So, you know, I think there's something we can do together to mentor people instead of necessarily having we thinking that one-on-one kind of thing. We're all mentoring each other in our reality when we get together, you know. So, you know, if there's
That's
other
true.
one-on-one mentoring that has to go on, you know, if you want to pull me aside and say, hey, I need okay, I have no problem with that. But, you know, as a group, we're mentoring each other, and you know, there's so many different views that somebody can have on any subject, you know, and just to have one person's view is not always the best because what if they're wrong, you know? So you don't, you know, mentoring is a very delicate thing, and that's why I think this setting with this kind of a diversity of beliefs, which are very similar, they're maybe not 100%, but they're very, very close, and they still work. Like me and you, Brother D. You know, we believe on the essentials of what matters, you know, and I think the things that we're sharing and opening up to people, allowing them to share their thoughts, their experiences, and, you know, we all can grow from that because, look, we all have come from different directions, but we're all seem to be walking a very similar path. And I may have stumbled on one part along that path that I can help the next one to not so much, you know. And I've been doing this for quite a while now, and you has revealed a lot to me, and that's why I record and I do the things I do, because I don't always have the time with my schedule very busy having to do studies and still have to work and provide and live, and you know, so to give up that kind of time to spend a lot of time, it's a lot easier to say, here, go to see study number, and they can go there and read it themselves, then ask me some questions, because now you have a better understanding, and then we can have a better intellect and conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I think that I like to do it. That's why I haven't said I will be a mentor. I kind of already am if you want to just go read what I've already done, because that's what I believe, is what I've studied and what scriptures tell me. So that's the best mentoring I can give someone, you know. Then when they come back together with our time together, hey, now they can ask you and me and a couple others, and now they're going to have a full understanding to be able to get a better understanding of whatever topic is concerning them. So that's my point.
Absolutely. I agree. I've been thinking about it the past couple of weeks. The whole one-on-one thing has become very difficult to make happen, almost impossible. It's better to try to kill as many birds with one stone as you can. I hate using that term. I don't like killing birds. You know, I don't hunt for birds, but, you know, get it all done in one time. You know what I mean? So choosing a day like Tuesday. Tuesday's going to be a day where so-and-so's available, and got a lot of people meeting up on that day, you know, to talk. And that could be a day where people can open up, you know, because the one-on-one thing is not easy. It's not easy. That requires a lot of time and a lot of sacrifice on things that people are already doing. So, yeah, good stuff. Anybody else want to share anything? Let me see. Joshua, let me check in with Brother Joshua. I know you're new, Joshua, to the group. You just came today, and but I'm just wondering if you have anything you'd like to share or regarding fellowship, the importance of fellowship. I'm going to unmute your mic. There you go.
I just want to say that, yeah, I agree with what y'all were saying about fellowship. We're on the same boat. I mean, it is important, and to me, because you want to be an example to the body and the Messiah, and those outside as well. You want to set, example of we're all striving to be like him, and fellowship is one way to see that. and it is important for even the young ones too, or children growing up. So other than that, I agree with everybody. I just praise y'all that I found fellowship, and I'll continue to be part of this group. That's about it.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you bring up a good point. Number one, first of all, this is not to try to keep people here. That's not the intention of this video. The intention is to find fellowship, period. That's what we're trying to promote, like the importance of it. However, like even with this fellowship, like this is an online fellowship, which is I tell people all the time, this is gonna be like my phrase, you know, I don't know what you call it, my motto, whatever. My motto is physical fellowship is the goal. This is more like a supplement. You know, this is a good temporary thing to use. However, like for me, for example, I plan on getting physical fellowship. Me and my wife want to go out tomorrow. We want to go out and go evangelize and hopefully connect with somebody. But the goal would be for them to join us on these Shabbats with the Zoom thing on. So I would like to see more people coming in my house eventually. And it's going to be on Zoom. So Zoom will always be there. But what I do with physical fellowship is always going to be more than what's on Zoom. I'm probably going to meet up with this person off the record. I'm going to be doing things with this person off the record. And that's the dynamic that's missed when we're only fellowshipping with each other via the internet. You know, there's a whole lot more that we're missing. So I always want that to be in the forefront of our minds, that let's try to make it a goal to reach out to people in our own city, you know, to get the word out, you know, any way that you can, whether it's printing out little messages, you know, printing out your messages, Rick, and leaving them places. You know, there's so many things that you can do. You already have like upper hand because you have these, and we can use it too. So I can print out your stuff too, and I can use it too. So that's good. But yeah, but that's the goal, guys. We gotta mobilize this thing, and you know, I've been trying my best using the internet, and it's good, but it's really it's more international and it's more across the U.S. rather than in my own town. So I need to hone in and bring all these golden pearls and get it to people in my own city. Go ahead, Brother Joshua. Oh, I guess he unmuted himself. All right, last person, Brian. Do you want to share anything before we end the video?
Oh, you talking to me? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, guys, Shabbat Shalom. I know I'm a little late today, but yeah, definitely agree. Yeah, I was just talking to my dad earlier this week. He wanted me to watch this thing on Charles Stanley about fellowship, and I said, "Yo, yeah, it's true. Yeah, you should find." Because he's talking about how you should find a church and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, but yeah, it's not, it's, what I'm looking for is interaction. And when you go to church, you just sit there and listen to one man preach. And then I know when I used to be in there, I used to sit there, wait for the buffet afterwards. I used to get hungry sitting there for several hours or 3 hours. Or those services down south are long as I don't know what. You go there at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, don't get out there till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's like, okay, I'm ready for go to corral, get some chicken or something. But yeah. So, but yeah, I think thank y'all for this setting though, because you can interact with each other and ask questions, and because it's like I was telling my dad, it's like no one man can get all the revelation of Yah. It's like you need to be allow the spirit, the Ruach Kodesh, to flow through the people, and I think that's the major thing that's missing in the corporate church setting. Is it's all focused on one man, and it's not allowing the Bible says your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your young man shall see vision, your old man shall dream dreams, but you're only seeing the vision of one man when you go to church, and you're not seeing everybody else's everybody else's revelation of Yah. So I think this reflects something that, for now anyway, it reflects what I'm looking for in the fellowship. And yeah, like I said, hopefully I can find someone else that's on my same page eventually, and that's I can meet with physically and all that. I do talk to people at work about stuff, and they ask me, "Where are you?" He's like, "Brother, what are you smoking?" And I was like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's interesting to challenge that people's programming, because we're all programmed to think a certain way. And then when you tell someone the truth, it's like, oh my gosh, what are you smoking? And it's like, no, I'm not smoking anything. That is what it is. But in the end, only God can give that person that revelation. but yeah, I'll throw it back to you guys. But yeah.
Amen, brother. Amen to that. Good stuff, man. Yeah, only Yahuwah could open their eyes. So keep the joy, Brian. Keep smiling. Keep laughing. Trust me. Somebody's gonna catch on. Somebody's gonna say, this brother's on to something good. Let me ask him some more questions. Amen. Brother, let's see, Sean, Julia, Brian. You guys got your hand up? Go ahead.
Just something that Brian said reminded me too of something that I really struggled with for years when I was in the church, was the feeling, and it became overwhelming near the end of our stay in the church, our church era, that we were going to a show. It didn't feel that much different than going to a Christian concert. There was like one man on the stage, he had all the information, and he was telling us what our Bible said, out of order, picking and choosing, and then everything. I mean, I was part of worship ministry for a long time, but I started getting really uncomfortable with it, because those eyes, it was just, these are no matter where people were at on the worship team, even if there was like a whole bunch of sin behind closed doors, behind the scenes, it was like they were elevated to a position of leadership because they had some musical talent. And there was just a lot of that, and a lot of everybody focusing in on the people at the head. We had people that were that would take the tithes and offerings during the week, and I knew what was really going on with them behind the scenes, but they were thought to be leaders because eyes were on them. And so the people that were a toe in the church or a thumb in the church or had something to give, you weren't hearing from them. You weren't hearing from the people that were the prayer warriors that were on their knees throughout the entire week, because they didn't necessarily have this elevated status of being a leader in the church. And I would go home and I would read Acts, where it would talk about all of us getting together, and someone would bring a hymn, and someone would bring a song, someone would have a message, someone would, it was everybody, it was the whole body had something to give. But I wasn't seeing that happen in church. I wasn't even seeing it happen in home Bible studies. It was at 2 or 3, and then the rest were like very, very silent, and they were just ba ba ba. But it was bad. It was bad. So that's another reason why fellowship is absolutely so important.
And that was 1 Corinthians 14:26.
Is that?
Can you read that real quick, brother?
What then is it, brothers? Whenever you come together, each one has a psalm, has a teaching, has a tongue, has a revelation, has an interpretation. Let all be done for upbuilding.
Hallelujah. Amen to that. So yeah. So, and it's not like everybody's throwing it all at once, right? We do it in orderly fashion. We let a person speak, let them be heard clearly, no interruptions. Let them speak. And then, that's it. That's where we have the leadership to examine what's being said, and for the leadership to be able to give exhortation or to expound upon that or give correction if necessary. But at least people are being heard. That's the point. Where in a more structured environment, or how one Christian pastor put it, he admitted, he's like, we are programmatic. I was like, programmatic, that's the word right there I'm looking for. He's like, you said it. He's like, yeah, because I told him why I couldn't come into a church anymore. And I was like, I can't speak this in a church. I'll sit there for 4 hours or 3 hours and then I'll leave. He's like, yeah, you're right. We are programmatic. It's kind of controlled and structured already from the moment you walk in the door to when you leave. So anyways, every church is different. We're not trying to judge every church and being exactly the same. We understand there's a diversity out there, but fellowship, you know, fellowship is important. That's the point, and that's all. We just want to do a quick little video for that. I hope this blessed you guys. And if you need to get in touch with me, email me at devotedti@gmail.com, or you can reach out to Brother Rick as well, yahuahkingdom.com. He's got his email information there. And love you guys. I hope you can find some fellowship. I hope you can find some brothers and sisters and be challenged to endure one another, because you will come across that challenge, because you are not going to believe everything 100% the same. I guarantee it. So I wish you all the best with that. Shalom.